Okay, so here we are, the Miles Revolution. Tonight we're going to make something that's really easy, and I think I'm a little too loud here, so I'm going to turn my microphone down here. Just a sec.
Did you pull out the hamburger? Dad.
Okay, well, it's still too loud. Just a moment, I got to adjust again. All right, so we're going to make some tacos, and let's pretend like I didn't know what I was doing. And tacos really aren't that difficult of a thing to make, and so we're going to start with the hamburger. So let's go over here to the freezer, and I think it's frozen. Normally it's best to pull your hamburger out and let it thaw if it's in the freezer, or you just, when you get it, you just don't freeze it, like you get it the day before, or a couple days before or something. But we're going to start with just some raw hamburger and get going there. So this is 1 pound of hamburger. Frozen. You can use the lean or extra lean or whatever. It just means that you're going to have a little less blood and guts and stuff in it if you get the more lean stuff. We need to thaw it out a little bit, so I'm just going to turn on the water here first of all so I can get this package opened. And then we'll thaw it. I'll show you how I thaw it right on the stove top. So you don't even have to have a microwave to thaw it. You can do it that way. It's faster, I suppose. But I'm not going to do it that way tonight. And I'll show you how I do it. So what you do is you just take a pan that this will fit in, and so I believe it'll fit inside this one. Big enough. And what I do is I take a little bit of water, and I just put some water inside the pan here. And we're just going to thaw it right here on the stove top. Turn our burner on. Probably that's just a little higher than medium high. And then I'll just take this hamburger, and we'll throw it right here in the pan. And it's got this little stuff here in the back side, but it's kind of frozen, so it won't come off yet. But we'll get it off here in a moment. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start the hamburger first so it gets going while we're preparing the few other things that need to be done. And then hopefully by the time the hamburger's done, the whole meal will be ready. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to wash my hands off because I did handle raw meat there. And it looks like, once again, the lid did not get clean, so I got to wash this thing off real quick. Not that we're bums, but sometimes the dishes just don't always get clean like they're supposed to. So basically what we're going to do here is when we're thawing this, we're just going to let the heat and the water and the steam thaw the hamburger for us. And that's how we're going to do that. For beans, you can do that if you're actually someone who knows what you're doing. You can actually do refried beans from scratch. I'm going to be a little bit lazy, and we're going to get refried beans from a can. So let me go over here to the cabinet. We're going to grab a can of refried beans. These ones are Old El Paso traditional refried beans, guaranteed to help you out for the things that beans do. Got to get a can opener, because this one obviously doesn't have a fancy pull tab on top. It's a little thing we learned about can openers. You know, you buy cheap ones, fancy ones, and the thing, they always seem to wear out and not open cans very, very long. So A little trick that I learned is always get your can opener wet, and that way it creates a lubrication on your thing that you're opening, so that your can opener doesn't get worn out as fast. And then when you put it on the can, it usually will go pretty easy because you put that water lubrication on your can. And that's how you do that. Save your can opener, then you don't have to buy them as often. And then I always rinse them off after I'm done. A few more ingredients that we usually use for tacos. I don't like any seasoning on my tacos, but that's a dog barking in the background. Sometimes we do use taco seasoning, and you can get that in little packets. Just like this La Preferida taco seasoning. So they have the brand in Spanish and the title of what's in the packet in English. So kind of interesting there. Just like the brand here, El Paso well, actually that's the name of a town. So anyway, all right. So that's something we can use on the hamburger, even though I generally don't like it on it, but I like lots of things bland, and that's maybe just the way I am. Another ingredient, which we often use for tacos, is nothing more than, in here, use some lettuce, and we'll cut some of that up. You can do your cheese a couple different ways. And the price of cheese is not really that much difference whether you buy the brick or whether you buy the grated cheese at this point in time. So we're going to do the lazy way, just use the grated cheese in our tacos. Some people, they want this good old, let's see if I got an old one in here. Some people like sour cream on their tacos and burritos. This is a Daisy brand, and it's for Daisy, made out of flowers. Not really. We actually had someone come over to our house one time, and they said, you know what, I don't like homemade tacos. And it's like, I wasn't really understanding that, because if you go to Taco Bell or Taco House or whatever your preferred taco place is, they don't have anything special as far as ingredients go, and they're just slapping all this stuff together. So I have no idea why this person made that statement. It's obviously a teenager at the time, and who said they didn't like homemade tacos. But, you know, we dealt with that, and they just starved, or they ate homemade tacos, and that's just the way it is. Then we'll get out some tortillas. Since there's only 4 of us eating tonight, we won't use very much. These ones were the Mission. We actually kind of prefer the Mission brand, but you know, it really doesn't matter whether you get the Mission brand, the store brand, or whatever. As long as they're not old and moldy, it doesn't really matter what kind of tortilla shells you have. These ones are flour. The flour are generally soft. You can also get the crunchy ones, which are generally made out of cornmeal, but you can also get white. But those are still made out of cornmeal, only it's white corn. So, they do everything. And then we have another option where we're going to have tonight. If I can but find my bag. I'll be right back. There it is. So people can optionally have a taco salad tonight if they'd like, because I bought these Tostitos Original Restaurante Style Party Size chips for people to use. And these plastic bags, you know, the things that people find out in their yards and cities and sidewalks and farmers' fields and stuff, I'm just going to throw in here so that when it goes to landfill, it can like blow away and blow someplace else. Because that's what those bags do. Kind of feel sorry for the farmers who find all that garbage and plastic and junk in their harvesting machines. But I just really wish the stores would go back to all plastic. It would make life a lot better. Now, normally something that I do when I'm making the hamburger is I'll take that time and I'll actually go and do the dishes while I'm waiting for this to thaw. Let's see, it's bubbling in here. Okay, it might be warm enough to peel this. I don't remember this little backing thing that you saw on the hamburger there. We're going to take that off and throw it in the garbage here. It's going to be real hot. Yep. It's like it's still frozen. But our water's starting to bubble in there, so it'll thaw here in a little bit, no problem. A microwave is a luxury for many people, even though I think in today's society, perhaps a range or an oven is a luxury and the microwave is a must. I don't know, maybe things have changed a little bit. When I grew up, the range or stove cooktop was always a must, and a microwave, if you were lucky enough, you had a microwave. We didn't actually have a microwave until I was sometime, I think, a teenager growing up in our house. And it was a new thing for us. It was kind of novel for making microwave popcorn, which to me, in my opinion, is not very good popcorn. We actually use a air popper for our popcorn, but that's beyond today's video. Actually, I will demonstrate in another video how to make the best homemade popcorn. And I'll have to do that some evening before I go watch a movie. And show you how to make popcorn with an air popper and how to get the butter drizzled on just right and the right amount of salt and get it mixed and all that kind of stuff. And there's a little technique that I do have for that, so we'll save that for another video. In the meantime, I will get the lettuce ready. If they're going to have taco salads, they might put a little bit of ranch dressing on that. I've seen that before. We usually buy this in the bigger bottles. When we had some of our other kids here at home, this was pretty much a staple, kind of like milk and bread. We didn't have any ranch dressing. Well then, gotta go to the store and get the ranch dressing. Otherwise, they couldn't eat their mashed potatoes or their pizza or anything else without the magic ranch dressing. But people don't necessarily need that today. Hopefully this thing warms up here. We're going to need a spatula to chop up our hamburger. And most people, when they do their hamburger, they do it kind of in big chunks. That never sat well with me, so that's not the way I'm going to do it. In the meantime, while the steaming pan is steaming, we'll probably be pretty close here. Let's see if we got a little blood soaker up here. Yeah, look at that. See, that thing, the thing that soaks up the blood in the package. So we're going to throw this away. And when you're thawing hamburger on the stovetop like this, generally you're going to want to like flip it over once in a while so you can get the whole thing thawed really quick. It doesn't really take that long. It does take some time. It's like cooking anything else. But it'll thaw. And you can just, actually this is already halfway thawed, so we'll be good here. Won't take too much longer. Alright. Just let that thaw there in the steamy, greasy steamy. I'll get a cutting board.
cutting board is for cutting things that need cut. Gotta get a knife.
A tool that everybody has to have in their kitchen is at least one decent cutting knife. You know, you only need one. You don't have to be, you know, a rich or go spend a whole bazillion dollars and get all kinds of knives. You just need a good knife. I'm going to get rid of some of this little brown stuff that's on this lettuce that I don't particularly want. Then we're just going to gracefully chop up some lettuce here. Just remember, when you cut lettuce, you know, whatever you put in there, it's always the edges that are going to turn brown when you get it out again. So, but you don't need a whole lot of lettuce for tacos, unless you're one of those people who are going to have a taco salad. Then you might use a little more lettuce than I suppose otherwise. This stuff in there is kind of gross, so we're going to
put it in the garbage. Goodbye, guys. We're food. And we'll put that back there. And we'll take some of this, I don't want this brown stuff.
It's always kind of disgusting. When I was on my mission, I remember I was in Germany, and it was like that, I don't know, the first or second day that I was there, my companion, he made a salad, bless his heart, and whatever else he did with it. And then he gave the salad to me. He's like, this is disgusting. This is brown. He says, oh, well, that's just the way it is. But I ate it, I suppose because I was hungry and dumb. But needless to say, the lettuce should have been thrown away. I don't know. The good thing, I suppose, I didn't get sick. But the lettuce was actually pretty rotten at the time. So, oh well. I survived. And that was, gee, how many years ago was that? That was good. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. 35 years ago? 19 years of age? That was a long time ago. You can do the math. I think that's about right. 35, 19, and 20. Yeah, 35 years ago. All right, our hamburger is all thawed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drain this water, and you can just use an old can that we happen to have lying around in here. And I'm going to drain this stuff so I don't get all that grease and gook here. I'll just turn this burner off. I won't need it yet. And, you know, I probably do things that are a little untraditional here. But I'm just going to drain all this grease off in water. And I'm not dumping it down the sink. I'm dumping it in a can that I placed in the sink. Just for your information. And then I'm just going to chop it up here. Just like that. And we'll just continue to fry it up here because it's not all cooked yet. What we did is we just thawed it out. But really, we just boiled that water to get the meat thawed out. Even though some of it cooked in the meantime, but we'll continue to chop this up here. If it wasn't frozen, we probably could have already been done with the hamburger, but you know, it was frozen. I just wanted to demonstrate that it's not the end of the world if you did not pull your hamburger out ahead of time. Now, if I did it in the microwave, the reason I don't particularly like thawing things in the microwave is when you put things in there, whether it's bacon or something else, you know, that's frozen, it tends to like cook the edges and leave the middle all thawed. And then if you continue to leave it in there to thaw the stuff out, like bacon, it's going to actually literally cook your for bacon on the outside, so the middle is going to be all squishy and raw. So you don't necessarily like to do it that way. Here we go, looking pretty good, and it's cooking at the same time. I probably should have left the burner on some. I just don't like to see any red in my hamburger. Even though, once again, when I was in Germany, there was a time when we went to someone's house to eat for dinner, and right there, sitting in the middle of the table, was a plate that I said, wow, that sure looks like just like raw hamburger. And another missionary who was there at the time says, well, that is raw hamburger. But we can't eat that. He says, oh, yes, we can, because I asked for it. So, in any case, I guess Germans are probably, maybe they're just as good as us as keeping some of the infectious stuff out of the meat. But I've eaten raw pork, and I've eaten raw hamburgers. And I'm here to live to tell about it. But I only ate it because it was served. I didn't eat it because I liked it. The hamburger, when they had that plate, it was actually mixed with raw egg, and then you just took a scoop of it or whatever, and you spread it on your bread, and you ate it. And that's how you did it. Okay, our hamburger is pretty much cooked there. Now, if you read the instructions, some people on these packets, let me get my glasses here, they just dump this seasoning right in, but if you actually read the back of the packet, it actually says add the seasoning with water, and that's how you make it kind of saucy. But you know, some people, they just sprinkle it on top, and that's good enough. So we are just going to I'm going to sprinkle it on for now, even though I don't prefer it this way, but we're going to do it this way just to demonstrate. And I probably should have kept some of that lively juice there that I dumped off. Instead, we'll just put a little bit of water in here. You probably should measure it out, but I'm not going to. And then you mix this stuff up. And I believe what happens is the taco seasoning packet actually has some corn starch in it, and that's what gives it the thicker consistency when it's cooked here. We'll have to let it warm up, and then we'll be ready with our taco meat. Just like to make sure it gets all mixed in there real well so nobody gets any bites of taco seasoning chunks, but that's kind of disgusting. I'll just put the lid on here, let it simmer and cook up a little bit here. And believe it or not, making the taco seasoning or taco meat is probably the most work that you have to do for making a taco meal. Everything else is pretty much pull it out of the refrigerator or pull it out of your cabinet and eat it. Of course, you have to do a little bit of advanced preparation for some of these things. So if you want like a price on this meal, Our pound of hamburger, this particular one, was about $4. Our lettuce, we probably got $1 into that. The cheese was another, oh, what did we pay for that? About $4, but of course that'll last more than one meal. The tortilla shells was around $2. Chips, $3 to $4, so we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, $18 for this meal. And this meal will actually feed about, well, I'd say 6 to 8 people with everything we have here. So we'll obviously have leftovers tonight for this meal. We won't eat it all, especially my slim daughters. They'll eat their bird portions, and then the rest we'll just save for leftovers. So this tacos, we probably have, you know, two meals worth of taco meat in here. And the cheese, well, gee, that'll last for probably 2 or 3 meals. So the meal is, you know, probably closer to about a $10 meal, $9 to $10 meal for a family of 4. Which, you know, you can't buy. I suppose you could. You can get a fast food meal and spend around $9 for one person. Obviously, making your dinner at home was a whole lot cheaper than going out to eat or going to Taco Bell and getting your stuff. But there's no soda pop with it. Well, you don't have to have soda pop with it. Plus, you get a little bit of exercise by doing this work. So, you know, nothing wrong with making your own meal, especially when it comes to tacos. We'll do another video where we make spaghetti and show how easy that is. You don't have to do it all from a can. And I think that's about close to dinner. So I'm going to take a break here and go fetch the people who are going to eat it. Alright, so here we are, putting our food together.
Hi.
So people can make tortillas, heat them up, cool them down, bite them out, take them around. And there it is. Taco sauce or taco meat looks good. Looks like we have some people making salads. What do you eat there, like?
I don't know.
Frog moves? I think I saw one tortilla.
Remember?
We got one tortilla left in the cupboard in this bag. So I put the tortilla with them on my plato.
You need to chill out.
Is this my plate or is that your plate? That's my plate over there. Now see, she's having a taco salad. I have taco salads when there's nothing else to choose from. It's kind of icky there, all the cookie stuff I got on the counter, and I don't like it. So what I normally eat is I usually have 2 tacos and 1 burrito. And today I did not make any chicken, but we could have made chicken to so that people would have the option of chicken tacos or beef tacos. Of course, if I made chicken, I would not have put the seasoning on the chicken because that would just be like bad to me. But I could have eaten it and had someone fed it to me. But nobody fed it to me and I'm making the dinner, so therefore I not make it. I no makey. And then I do another thing which most people don't do is I like to have my cheese melted on my products. So I will use the microwave. I will not melt my cheese on the range. I will not do it home on the range I'm not going to do it where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the sky is not cloudy all day. Oh, where's that light? Have some cheese.
Thank you.
Are you waiting for something? Counter space. Well, I put that little paper towel there to kind of avoid the kookiness there. So I'm going to stick my my little
It's not bad.
tortilla things in the microwave to melt the cheese. And I'll probably do that for about 30 seconds. Even though you don't have to, it's just I'm kind of one of those people who like my cheese melted. And it probably doesn't make a darn bit of difference as far as the taste goes. It only makes a difference as far as what my tongue experiences when it's in my mouth. And that's important to some of us. And then after we do that, then I will put the lettuce on and I will show you my completed product. I'll probably put it on there for about 30 seconds. Let the nuclei bombard the wonderful cheese in the microwave. Well, maybe I did make enough meat. Barley.
Where's the salsa?
Oh, salsa.
¿Dónde
¿Dónde está la salsa? Cholulas. Hot sauce.
Ah.
Salsa. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Ooh.
Está aquí.
Watch me. Watch me. Ooh. Not melted.
Ew, I made in the middle of that. I don't like that. No.
Something that the chef could always do is stick their hand in the food and eat it. They just don't tell anybody else.
Or they spit in the food.
Or they could spit in the food.
They don't like the person.
If they don't like the person, they could spit in the food. But I don't do that. Even though I may not like somebody, I still won't spit in their food. Alright. There we go. My cheese melted. See, my cheese melted on my stuff. And I'll put my lettuce on here. Let us rejoice. And then I'll take my little taco and I'll wrap it up with my rhythm and poetry. Wrap up the taco with the rhythm and poetry. That was dumb. And then some people, they will do the fancy little tuck on their tortilla shell so that things don't fall out the bottom. And I'm not going to, well, I guess I could kind of demonstrate that. But that's where you fold over the end somehow in some sort of squishy way. And then you roll up your tortilla so you can eat from the top and the stuff doesn't drip out of the bottom. So I'm the Miles Revolution. Thank you for watching us have tacos. And I hope that you will make tacos someday yourself. Signing out.
Wait.
Goodbye.
I put too much in it.